Have you ever noticed that around the same time every year, something strange begins to stir in your life? Perhaps arguments escalate, financial difficulties return, or an unexplained heaviness falls over your home. It's like a shadow revisiting you on schedule, as if it knows the door to your spirit reopens at this exact time. Archangel Michael says this isn't just coincidence. This is a spiritual pattern. A cycle. And for many, it's a curse that has gone unnoticed for generations. You may have thought these repeated struggles were simply bad luck or seasonal moods. But beneath the surface lies something deeper, an energy tethered to your lineage, looping back every year to steal your peace, block your progress, and chain your destiny. This cycle isn't natural. It's spiritual warfare in disguise. And now, the heavens are unveiling the truth. Archangel Michael, the warrior of light, has been watching this pattern repeat in the lives of the chosen. And he's come forward to reveal why it returns, and how you can stop it. This curse, born out of ancestral choices, broken covenants, or spiritual agreements you were never part of, latches onto certain dates, certain anniversaries in your bloodline. That's why the same time every year feels so heavy. That's why joy is delayed, breakthroughs postponed, and chaos creeps in silently. In the unseen realm, time is marked differently. Angels see patterns where we see coincidence. And Michael, standing guard over those called by the divine, has been dispatched to awaken your awareness. This isn't just your battle, this is generational. The same curse tried to haunt your mother. It tried to derail your grandfather. And now, it's trying to return to you. But here's what they didn't expect: you are the interruption. The curse came again this year, but now you're awake. Now you see the signs. That strange dream you had. That heaviness in your heart. That repeated fear. These were the alarms of the spirit. Archangel Michael has been whispering to you, nudging your soul, preparing you to rise and sever this cord once and for all. You don't need rituals or fear-based protection. What you need is alignment. Spiritual authority. Clarity. And courage. The heavens are not asking you to fight alone, they've already surrounded you with divine help. The curse might return, but this time, it will find a warrior standing in its way. Take a moment to reflect. When in your year do things begin to unravel? What patterns keep resurfacing? What pain does your family seem to relive in cycles? These aren't just memories, they're keys. Archangel Michael is handing them to you now. Because this year, you're not just surviving the season. You're breaking the cycle. You were chosen to be the one who stops this. Not because you're the strongest, but because your spirit finally said, enough. And heaven heard you, and now, the shift begins. You may have already felt the signs. The atmosphere in your home feels different, your sleep disrupted, or people around you acting strangely. That's not just emotional or mental exhaustion. It's spiritual residue, an echo of the same attack that tried to break you last time. But unlike before, you're not unaware. You're standing with eyes open and spirit awakened. Archangel Michael is drawing a line in the sand for you. He is commanding the forces that have lingered too long to release your house, your peace, your purpose. What once had access will now be shut out. Because this isn't just another year, this is the year you reclaim what was lost. The same curse that tried to suffocate your dreams is now being exposed. And once exposed, it loses its strength. That's the truth the enemy hopes you never understand, that awareness is power. That revelation is your weapon. And that your family's healing begins the moment one person, you, says, no more. Heaven has waited for this moment. For someone in your lineage to rise up with authority, not fear. Someone willing to break the silence, confront the spiritual patterns, and speak life where death once lingered. That someone is you. And Michael is with you, not just to protect, but to lead. Tonight, before you sleep, declare your home free. Not with fear, but with boldness. Walk into the very room where tension used to gather and claim it as sacred ground. Speak peace where there was strife. Call light into corners where darkness once hid. And remember, every act of spiritual alignment you make now echoes across generations. Your children won't feel the weight you carried. Your grandchildren will not inherit the battles you had to fight. Why? Because you broke the chain. The curse tried to return, but it failed. You have shifted the atmosphere. You have broken the cycle. You have answered the divine call. Now that the shift has begun, don't step back. Every year, this same force waited in silence, expecting you to ignore it again. It hoped you'd be too distracted, too tired, too doubtful. But this time, something within you remembered the dreams that faded, the goals that crumbled, the peace that was suddenly lost during this very season. And that memory ignited something ancient inside your spirit. That something is your divine authority. Archangel Michael is not merely guarding you, he's inviting you to co-labor with heaven. This is not a passive season. This is a spiritual war disguised in ordinary moments. And you have been awakened to take your place as a spiritual watchman over your bloodline. This curse, this cycle, it may not wear a visible face, but its fingerprints are everywhere. It showed up in arguments that seemed to come out of nowhere. In decisions clouded by confusion. In blessings that always came close but never stayed. But now you are seeing it clearly. The fog is lifting. Michael is whispering to your spirit, reminding you that every breakthrough begins when deception is exposed. You were never cursed for weakness, you were targeted because of destiny. And that destiny is now reactivating. Do not be surprised if old temptations try to re-emerge. If long-forgotten people suddenly reach out. If sudden emotional waves hit without warning. These are not coincidences, they are the enemy's last attempt to pull you back into alignment with the old. But the old is breaking. You are no longer who you were last year. You've grown. You've seen more. You've prayed deeper. And because of that, you are spiritually out of reach for what once had access. Michael's sword isn't just cutting the chain, it's drawing a boundary in your home. A divine perimeter. And you are the gatekeeper now. What comes in must be permitted by you. What remains must be in agreement with your divine assignment. Feel the power in your spirit rising. This moment is not just deliverance, it's inheritance. And everything the curse tried to delay will begin to flow again. Momentum will return. Clarity will return. Resources, relationships, ideas, purpose, it will all begin again. Because the curse cannot outrun the blessing that was always meant to find you. You may begin to notice small, divine confirmations, unexpected messages, repeated numbers, sudden peace in the middle of chaos. These are not random. These are heavenly breadcrumbs, guiding you away from the trap and into the timing of breakthrough. Heaven wants you to know, this year, the pattern will be broken because you're not who you used to be. Your awareness has changed the battlefield. What once snuck in unnoticed is now standing exposed before your spiritual discernment. The enemy's silence has become noise. Its camouflage has faded. And you are standing in a greater light, the light of truth, the light of heaven. And in that light, the curse cannot hide. The atmosphere around you may try to stir old anxieties, revive dormant fear, or tempt you with chaos, but do not panic. Stay grounded in prayer. Stay rooted in peace. You are not losing your mind, you are gaining spiritual clarity. Archangel Michael is now stationed at your side, sword drawn, ready to confront anything that tries to pass through the new boundary heaven has set over your family. He is not here to observe, he is here to fight. But he fights alongside your authority, not without it. You must now choose to participate in this breakthrough. Speak life over your household. Anoint your home. Declare the end of every yearly sabotage. Cancel every ancestral pattern that cycles through pain. Bless your children. Proclaim a new spiritual inheritance. Every word you release now will shift the atmosphere tomorrow. Because the curse only works through silence and ignorance. And you now carry awareness. You now carry revelation. You now carry fire. This year, when the familiar heaviness tries to revisit your household, when emotions start stirring without explanation, when old arguments begin to surface, when strange dreams start repeating, pause. Don't react emotionally. Recognize the timing. This is not just coincidence. It is a pattern, and patterns have roots. Roots that heaven is now uncovering. Archangel Michael is not only revealing the pattern, but he's empowering you to end it. Speak boldly. Break the silence. Cover your doorway with prayer. Reclaim territory that was once surrendered out of fear or fatigue. You don't need to understand all the details of the curse. What matters is your response in this moment. Because your obedience now will rewrite your family's spiritual timeline. And this time, the pattern ends with you. The spiritual battle is not just about protection, it's about restoration. What this curse tried to delay will now be accelerated. What it tried to divide will now be unified. What it tried to bury in your bloodline will now rise with power. There is a divine reversal beginning, and Archangel Michael stands as the gatekeeper to ensure it's fulfilled. Look closely at your calendar. Heaven already has. This isn't just a date, it's an opportunity. And God has chosen you to be the shift your ancestors prayed for. You see, generational curses don't scream, they repeat. Subtly. Silently. Strategically. But once you recognize the cycle, you've already stepped into authority. And this is exactly why Archangel Michael is standing guard over your home now. Because the moment you choose to break the cycle, spiritual warfare intensifies, but so does angelic defense. Every tear your family has cried. Every breakdown, every heartbreak, every unexplainable loss at this exact time of year, it hasn't gone unnoticed by heaven. Archangel Michael is not just declaring protection, he is initiating a reversal. Where loss once entered, now blessing will flow. Where confusion clouded minds, now clarity will reign. There's a reason you're hearing this message now, not before, not later, but now. Because this is the year it ends. The curse has returned to its assigned hour. But this time, it finds your family different. Covered. Awakened. Guarded by the armies of heaven. Take a moment today, bless your home, speak life into your lineage, anoint the doors, break any soul ties or hidden agreements made long ago, knowingly or unknowingly. Speak this aloud. In the name of the Almighty, this pattern is broken. What afflicted my bloodline ends with me. Because the same time it returned is the same time it will be banished forever. Look closer at your family's history. Is it coincidence that every year, around this same time, someone falls ill? Finances crumble? Relationships break? Or a deep sadness suddenly returns without explanation? No, it's not chance, it's a spiritual echo, a repeated knock on your door from a force that believes it still has legal ground. But Archangel Michael says, not this year. He has been dispatched with divine instruction to sever the ties that once gave this darkness access. This year, the cycle meets resistance. This year, it comes face to face with a wall of light built from prayer, awareness, and sacred protection. And this time, you are awake. You were not meant to carry what your ancestors couldn't release. You were not born to suffer their unfinished battles. You were born to end them. The old chain ends with you, not because you are stronger, but because heaven has chosen you. And Michael, heaven's fiercest protector, does not come quietly. When he moves, strongholds break. When he enters, darkness flees. And right now, he stands at the threshold of your home, ready to defend all that is good, all that is innocent, and all that is holy within your lineage. But hear this protection requires your agreement. Stand in faith. Light a candle. Speak a prayer over your family. Renounce any ancestral covenant that does not align with divine truth. Heaven responds to bold declarations made in love, not fear. Because this is your moment to reclaim what was once surrendered. If this message touched something deep within your soul, then it wasn't just for you. Someone else in your family, your friends, or your circle of influence might be silently battling this same spiritual cycle. Share this video with them, because your one act of sharing could be the moment that breaks their chain too. If you felt something stir inside you today, that was not random. Leave a comment below, just one line, "The cycle ends with me." Let it be your declaration. Let it echo into the spiritual realm. And if you believe in the power of messages like this reaching more hearts across the world, then don't hesitate to tap the super thanks button below. It's more than support, it's a divine investment into spreading light where it's most needed. Don't forget to subscribe, because Archangel Michael is not finished. There are more revelations, more battles, and more divine victories coming. And you were meant to witness all of it. Heaven has chosen you. Now walk boldly in that truth.